previously on the Cannibal town. Emily fled a broken heart, only to find herself trapped in Millhaven, a town erased by a mysterious epidemic decades ago. But soon, she realizes she's not alone in this abandoned town. With trembling hands, Emily reached for her phone, desperate to call for help. But as the screen lit up, her heart sank. No signal. She was truly alone in this ghost town, trapped in a mystery that had begun nearly 4 decades ago. Emily stared at her phone's no-signal message, a wave of hopelessness washing over her. She glanced back at the store, its door still swaying gently. Something about the movement made her skin crawl. The cut on her palm throbbed, a constant reminder of the town's hostility. As she examined her wounds in the dim light, Emily noticed with growing horror that the edges of the gash on her palm had taken on a sickly, greenish tinge. The skin around it felt hot to the touch. Deciding to try her luck elsewhere, Emily hurried back to her car, wincing as each step sent jolts of pain through her growing collection of injuries. The engine sputtered and coughed, but refused to start.
No, come on,
Emily pleaded, trying again and again. The fuel gauge needle hadn't moved from its position just above empty. Suddenly, a movement in her rearview mirror made her freeze. There, just at the edge of the light cast by the gas station, a shadow seemed to shift and move. Emily's breath caught in her throat as she slowly turned to look. The station appeared empty, the cars sitting silent and still. But as Emily's eyes adjusted to the darkness, she began to notice things she'd missed before. The shadows seemed deeper than they should be, moving in ways that defied the gentle breeze. And then she heard it.
Help us!
Panic surged through Emily. She bolted from the car, no longer caring about the fuel or her dead engine. She just knew she had to get away. Her footsteps echoed loudly as she ran down the empty street, passing by a diner where meals still sat on tables, untouched for decades. A movie theater's marquee advertised films from the 1980s in faded letters. Through the dusty window of a toy store, lifeless dolls stared out with glassy eyes. The whispers grew louder, seeming to come from all directions at once.
Help us! Join us!
Emily ran faster, her lungs burning. But no matter which turn she took, every street led her back to the town center. It was as if Millhaven itself was alive, its roads shifting and changing to keep her trapped within its borders. As she rounded a corner, her foot caught on a broken piece of sidewalk. Emily threw out her hands to break her fall, forgetting her injuries. She hit the ground hard, feeling the gash on her palm tear open wider.
Oh God!
A scream of pain escaped her lips as she felt something in her wrist snap. Emily lay on the ground, cradling her now obviously broken wrist, tears streaming down her face.
What's happening to me?
The whispers seemed to respond, closer now, almost gleeful.
Becoming one with Millhaven.
Emily scrambled to her feet, swaying as a wave of dizziness washed over her. She checked her watch. Hours had passed, yet the sky remained an impenetrable black. Dawn should have broken by now, but in Millhaven, it seemed, night was eternal. A cold realization washed over her. She wasn't just lost in a strange town. She was trapped in a nightmare that had been waiting for her for 37 years. In the distance, a bell began to toll, each resonant chime sending vibrations through the ground beneath Emily's feet. The shadows around her seemed to pulse in rhythm with the sound, drawing closer with each toll. As the final bell faded, Emily heard a new whisper, clearer than all the others. It came from just behind her, so close she could almost feel breath on her neck.
Welcome home, Emily. We've been waiting for you.
She turned, her broken wrist held protectively against her chest, to face whatever horror awaited her in the endless night of Millhaven.